The night before the college entrance exam, Chu Han suddenly died, but unexpectedly found himself in a system world, bound to a good-for-nothing system, 001, thus beginning his journey through various novels. The sound of punches landing on flesh echoed in his ears as Chu Han opened his sleepy eyes. Not far ahead, he saw a young man in a white shirt pressing a man violently to the ground, his eyes filled with ruthless intensity. When the young man turned his head, his gaze locked with Chu Han's, causing Chu Han's heart to skip a beat out of fear. Those eyes looked as if they could tear a person apart. The voice of 001 rang out, "Host, this is the target you need to conquer this time, Jiang Huai." Chu Han swallowed nervously and asked in an extremely uncertain tone, "Are you really sure you want me to conquer this guy who looks like a total demon?" Although he was quite handsome, and his height was estimated to be about 186 centimeters, Chu Han was upset when he thought of his own 179 centimeters, just 1 centimeter short of 180. It felt like a sharp knife stabbed into his heart. "Yes, host," 001 responded mercilessly. Chu Han forced a smile that looked more like a grimace. "How about you just kill me instead? Make me conquer him? This is practically sending me to my death. I don't want to die right at the start. The man on the ground was barely conscious, unable to speak coherently. "Jiang, why? You bastard. You have a mother but." Before he could finish his sentence, another punch landed on him, and he coughed up a mouthful of blood before falling unconscious. "Host, why do you look like you're crying while trying to smile? Is it because 001 didn't pick a good-looking target for you? This guy's looks are top-notch." The young man had a handsome face with fair skin, thick black hair, sharp eyebrows, and narrow peach blossom eyes. His tall nose and perfectly shaped lips were particularly suited for kissing. His figure was impeccable, but the aura he emitted was one of "stay away from me." He was intimidating, making others fear approaching him. Chu Han sighed. "He's good-looking, sure, but his temper, I don't think I can handle it." Sending Chu Han to conquer someone like this was a death sentence. He hadn't even gotten close yet, and his life was already in danger. Besides, Chu Han didn't even like men. He'd been an orphan since childhood, a bit of a loner, never fitting in with his classmates, always alone. In nearly 18 years, he'd never had feelings for anyone. Finally, the college entrance exam was just around the corner, and with his grades, he was sure to get into a good university. But fate seemed to be playing a cruel joke on him. He suddenly died and unexpectedly bonded with the system, ending up in this bizarre world where his mission was to conquer a target. As Chu Han was still in a daze, Jiang Huai began walking toward him, step by step. The overwhelming aura made Chu Han shudder. He braced himself for a confrontation, but instead of the expected pain, he felt himself falling into a warm embrace that carried a faint scent of gardenias. When Chu Han woke up again, he looked around the unfamiliar environment, and memories that didn't belong to him flooded his mind. The original owner of this body was also named Chu Han, a straight-A student with low blood sugar and a weak constitution. However, unlike him, the original Chu Han had a cheerful personality, was well-liked, and had a harmonious family with both parents alive. After absorbing these memories, Chu Han rubbed his temples in frustration. He vaguely remembered falling into a warm embrace before passing out, and that gardenia scent. It must have been Jiang Huai, his target. So, this place must be Jiang Huai's home. No way. Chu Han quickly scrambled out of bed, put on his shoes, and hurriedly fled. Outside the door, Jiang Huai was holding a bottle of glucose water. He watched Chu Han's panicked escape with a faint smile. Just a moment ago, he had willingly fallen into his arms, and now he was trying to run after flirting. On the way back, Chu Han suddenly remembered that he had once read a novel where the two main characters were named Jiang Huai and Chu Han, with one sharing his name. But he had only read halfway before suddenly dying and unexpectedly bonding with the system, bringing him into this world. The book had mysteriously appeared on his bookshelf, and though Chu Han wasn't one for reading novels, he had instinctively taken it off the shelf and started reading it, completely unbothered by the looming college entrance exam. "Do I really have to make him fall for me?" Chu Han asked. 001 hesitated, What? Chu Han was silent for a while, then shook his head. Since he was already in this world, he might as well live a good life using this identity. That was Chu Han's current thought. As for the target, he didn't have any solid plans yet. Using the original owner's memories, Chu Han found his way home. His phone had run out of battery and couldn't be turned on, so he needed to find a charger at home. Yuetian Building, Unit A201. This was the original Chu Han's home. Ding dong, ding dong, the doorbell rang. Lin Wanyan, who was washing her hands, rushed to open the door without even taking off her apron. She knew it must be her precious son coming home. Sure enough, when she opened the door, her precious son was standing outside. Bao, why didn't you tell me you were coming home? It's windy outside, and with your health? Lin Wanyan hesitated. Her son was perfect in every way, except for his frail body, which required frequent trips to the hospital. The doctors had even predicted he wouldn't live past 16. Chu Han stared blankly at the woman in front of him, who was wearing an apron. Her face was well-maintained, and if she dressed up a bit more, she could rival a movie star. This must be the original owner's mother. After making brief eye contact, Chu Han stepped inside, gently closed the door, and coldly said, "Mom, my phone ran out of battery. I'm going upstairs to charge it." It wasn't his fault. He had never experienced anyone's care before, and being sick and going to the hospital always meant being alone. As a result, he didn't know how to interact with others. Lin Wanyan felt something was off with her precious son today, but she couldn't put her finger on it. "Bao, remember to come down for dinner later. I made all your favorite dishes. Tomorrow you'll be going back to school, so I won't be able to watch over you all the time." Lin Wanyan had been a dancer, often traveling across the country for stage performances. But because of Chu Han's health, she gritted her teeth and quit her job to become a full-time housewife to take care of him. Although she watched over him every day, it wasn't as if she was imprisoning him. He still had plenty of freedom. The dining table was covered with a feast of delicious dishes, many of which Chu Han had never tasted before. Lin Wanyan kept piling food onto his plate. "Bao, eat more. You're too thin."
He Han nodded.
After he had eaten his fill, mother and son sat on the couch together. For a moment, Chu Han was silent. After a long pause, he finally spoke quietly, "Mom, I want to live in the dorms." Lin Wanyan's hand trembled, causing her phone to drop onto the soft couch. She stared at Chu Han in shock. "Bao, what did you say? Live in the dorms?" "Yes, I want to live in the dorms." Chu Han thought it would be more convenient to stay in the dorms. He could hide things from others, but he couldn't hide them from the parents who shared blood with the original owner. If he stayed at home for a few days, they would definitely notice something was off. At that moment, the original Chu Han's father walked in with a cheerful expression. He hadn't noticed the tense atmosphere and happily announced that he had been promoted to manager and his salary had increased significantly. It was indeed something to celebrate. But Lin Wanyan and Chu Han didn't react much. Only then did Chu Tianhua realize something was wrong and asked what had happened. Lin Wanyan bluntly stated that their son wanted to live in the dorms. Hearing this, Chu Tianhua fell silent. After a long pause, he suggested they discuss the dormitory issue another day. But Chu Han was determined to settle the matter that day. He firmly stated that he was now grown up and knew his own body. Plus, the next semester was the start of his senior year, and commuting back and forth was a hassle that could interfere with his studies. Chu Tianhua thought about it and realized it made sense. Living in the dorms would give Chu Han more time to study. So, he reluctantly agreed. After Chu Han went back to his room, Lin Wanyan questioned him. "Do you not understand our son's health condition? How could you agree to let him stay in the dorms? What if something happens? We wouldn't be able to get to the school in time." Chu Tianhua was also helpless. "Honey, didn't you see the determination in our son's eyes just now? What can we do if we disagree? He's dead set on going." "But you..." Lin Wanyan trailed off. Yes, even if they disagreed, what could they do? Their son was stubborn, and once he set his mind on something, he would do it no matter the cost. Upstairs, in his bedroom, Chu Han found a charger in a drawer and plugged in his phone. After about 2 minutes, the phone powered on, and a flood of messages popped up on the screen. Chu Han skimmed through them and saw at least 100 messages. One contact, labeled as Chen Wenxing, had sent him no fewer than 30 messages. "Ah Han, come play PUBG. The other party has sent you a team invitation. Accept decline? The other party has canceled the invitation. The other party has sent you a team invitation. Accept decline? The other party has canceled the invitation." "Ah Han, where are you? Did you disappear on me again?" Chu Han rubbed his temples in frustration. Chen Wenxing was a close friend of the original Chu Han, someone he had grown up with. He quickly scanned the messages, replying to the more important ones, and then sent a message back to Chen Wenxing. "I didn't disappear. See you tomorrow." Afterward, he randomly grabbed a set of pajamas from the wardrobe and headed to the bathroom. After washing up, he climbed into bed to rest.